turning back. 세상 내 무대 track. 숨길 수 없어 내 vibe, so really energy you gonna feel. I'm invincible, nothing can break me. Limitless flow, don't try to chase me. Crash like a wave, wild and free. 이 무대 위, I'm all you see. Invincible, na 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 na. Yeah, na 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 na. Invincible, na 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 na. Na 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 na. 늦지 않아.
Two teams coming off recent wins try to step out of the lower half of the standings with a triumph on this rainy and wet Saturday here in San Juan. Only 4 slots are available to move on to the qualification phase, and the current leaders, they are just picking up the pace, so making it a big challenge for the rest of the field. So, Akari and CAPITAL1 will go full throttle for a win here tonight in the All-Filipino Conference of the PVL. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the volleyball venue here in San Juan. With Franny Reyes and Ringo, we're stepping out of a nail-biter of a fight-setter. We are still awake here in San Juan. Have you recovered from that first game?
Well, there's talk about this game.
No, first muna. Did you
Let's
recover?
not preempt.
I know.
Oh, did you recover from the first game? Ako, hindi ko alam kung saan pupunta yun eh. Okay, let's now take a look at where we are as far as the team standings are concerned.
Well, you did mention the goal actually coming into this single round robin is to make it to the top 4, and you can see who are the front runners: Signal, PLDT, Creamline, with that long game earlier. But if you're in the middle, you actually have an outside chance. So for CAPITAL1 and Akari, you want to start winning your remaining games if you want to make it to the top 4, because there is still a chance.
Okay,
Yeah.
but that's why you have to start winning, because the rest of the top, they keep on winning as well. Now let's talk about some key players, some lightsabers for Akari when they won against Signal. They had some good performance there, Noreen.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, that was huge for their morale, and I think it can be attributed to the fact that they maximize their triple threat. You know, you have marquee players, and you can see Ivy Laxina, Fifi Sharma, Sed Domingo. If you can take advantage and maximize them, give them good outputs by giving them good sets, that's where they're most successful, and they came out with that big win against Signal. It wasn't easy, mind you, it wasn't easy, but they worked hard for it. Look at the numbers: 20 points for Ivy Laxina, 16 for Fifi Sharma, and Sed Domingo had 14. So moving forward, you know this is successful. This is working. You want to continue to use this. the triple
Okay,
threat.
absolutely. But you know, as they continue to look for their water level, so to speak, they're a team in transition. There are things they want to improve, Fran, and you're able to talk to them.
Yeah, well, at first I talked to Sed Domingo. We featured her there in those 3 very tall players. Now, Sed was actually telling me, like, this is the best that they've moved as a team whenever they're inside the court, but it's not yet translating into wins, or not as many wins as they were hoping for. And actually, that takes me to my other conversation with Justine Hazareno, who talked about how the first ball is just so important whenever you play your games, because if you don't have a good first ball, if you don't have a good service receive, you can't do anything else well. And she was telling me that, you know, the first line of defense is blocking, it's your service receive. As you see on your screens, passing grade, they had a reception efficiency of 34% in their wins, but 26.9% in their losses. So they have to be consistent in their passing if they want more wins, because as Seb mentioned, every single game needs to be won if they want to break into that top 4.
Absolutely, and you know, if you want to keep on winning, there's so many areas you have to improve on already.
Yeah, but first line of defense really is the first pass. So really, you see the improvement in the numbers, and they're going to continue to work on that. For me, in practice, you have to keep working on that because you have to have good pass. You know that.
You know, you cannot blame the coaches. You might be saying, mga coaches ng volleyball, wala namang ibang bago sinasabi. But that's the most important thing. The first pass is the one that creates the offensive opportunities. Now let's shift our attention to the other side of the net. And CAPITAL1, they are also a team in transition. They're trying to find their own stars, actually, Nori.
Yeah, I like it that we're talking about Sid Niegos because her journey. She was supposed to leave the team, but Coach Jorge urged her to come back. And she's taking advantage. She's making the most out of this second chance for me. And you said it, they're constantly looking for help, no, for Michaela Belen. Sid Niegos with 20 huge points. I mean, for a person who's not supposed to play and to be able to score 20 points, what I like more, Franny and Sir Sev, is really the confidence. Hopefully, she'll feel more confidence and she'll be able to produce the same moving forward.
You know, I said, katabi natin itong CAPITAL1, I sense there's a certain kind of focus tonight. And you can sense the importance of this game. And was that something you saw also in the locker room?
Definitely. When I actually did talk to Sid Niegos, she said that it was such a big confidence boost for them because that was the first time that this team has actually defeated the Farm Fresh Foxies. And actually for Sid, this was very special because she told me every time she entered practice, she wasn't even thinking about, you know, how many points she could score. Her goal was first to make the lineup, second to see if she could make it into the first six, which is no easy feat. And then she told me she was just in utter disbelief that she was able to kill those shots, that down the line, those things that she wasn't able to do in practice, she somehow found the confidence. And really what helped them was that as a team, they discussed how they could bring that confidence out inside the court, how they could give each other chances. And actually, it's very timely that Sid is really rising to the occasion because she has to support her teammate, Bella Belen, or as she prefers to be called from now on, Micaela Belen, because she is a pro after all. In her past 4 games, she had 20 plus points. Make that last 6 games, or rather, solar-powered Micaela Belen. And actually, Micaela Belen was highlighting to me the importance of a team effort. You know, this is a team sport. It can't just be one person. And if Sid can rise up, we are bound to see other solar spikers rising to the occasion as well.
Okay, you have a question for everybody here tonight?
Yes, I do, because it can't just be the 3 of us talking in what might be another 5-setter, right? So, I have our Pilipinas Live poll question for this game, which you can let us know your answer just below the stream on the Pilipinas Live app. And that question is, which team will keep more rallies alive with their digging? Will it be the Akari Chargers, or will it be the CAPITAL1 Solar Spikers? Let us know on the Pilipinas Live app or using the hashtag PVL2026.
Noreen, I know you haven't recovered from the first game, but I know this digging is going to be important for this one.
For sure. I mean, we're gonna see that. And with the importance of this game, really, they're gonna give it their all in defense. And it starts again with defense.
Okay, they've assigned me to do this. Watch the switch with CAPITAL1, number 19, Roma Duramal, and number 22, Leila Cruz. Let's watch this.
Who would you trust to score the game? Okay lang kung hindi mo ibalik sa akin.
No, I trust. Okay, guess who?
Hi, I'm Leila Cruz.
Hi, and I'm Ramo May Daramal, and this is What's the Sit?
Wow!
Yay! Okay, next one, Aswit.
Who from the team would make the best courtside reporter?
Courtside reporter. I feel like Lay.
Wait! Oh my God!
Ah, yeah, you know na.
Feel ko, alam ko na. Ate Pong?
Yay! Yeah!
Kasi courtside reporter.
yeah. Di ba nagka-cover siya ng games? Who from the team would make the best coach?
Okay, I know na.
I know na. I feel like Ate Ai. Ate Sid.
Oo.
Si Sid. Yung dalawa na isip ko, si Sid at Ate Ai. Kasi nagko-coach sila.
Oo.
Yeah.
Lagi ko itong pinipraise si Ate Sid kasi ang galing niya mag-contact ng bola, gano'n.
Who from the team would you trust to receive a crucial serve? Wait, ayusin mo ha.
Ano ayusin?
Siguro libero. So, me? Yes! Thanks, Lay. Thanks. The trust is there.
Grabe ang saya.
Yeah.
Who would you trust to score the game? Okay lang kung hindi mo ibalik sa akin. Who would you trust to score the game-winning point?
No! I trust.
Ako answer ko, Bella ako. Pero feel ko yung sinulat niya ako.
Layla, I'll go for it.
Thank you.
The trust is there. The trust
Binalik
is
na
there.
lang to me
Yes.
para same kami.
Oh! Yay!
Oh! Wait lang,
Okay,
natatawa
next
ako.
one. A switch.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the city of San Juan as the 2026 All-Filipino Conference of the Premier Volleyball League continues. This is match number 32 of the tournament, the preliminary round matchup between the Akari Chargers and their opponents, the CAPITAL1 Solar Spikers. Introducing the two national referees officiating this match. Our first referee is Erlindo Eusebio. Second referee, Fernando Velarde. Let's now meet the starters. First, for the Akari Chargers. Middle blocker number 2, Vivi Sharma. Outside striker number 5, Gretchen Soltones. Middle blocker number 14, Jaja Villena. Outside striker number 16, Ivy Laxina. Setter number 19, Mars Alba. And opposite hitter number 24, Eli Soyud. Starting libero and team captain is number 15, Justin Hazareno. The head coach for Akari is Tina Salak. And now the starters for the CAPITAL1 Solar Spikers. Setter number 2, Jasmine Nabor. Outside spiker number 4, Bella Belen. Middle blocker number 9, Pauline Gaston. Opposite hitter number 16, Sid Niegos. Outside spiker number 23, Shaya Adorador. And middle blocker number 24, Cherry Nunag. Starting libero and team captain is number 19, Roma May Doromal. The head coach for CAPITAL1 is Jorge Souza de Brito. This match is held under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. It is Akari versus
captain ng CAPITAL1. Very young and just 2 years out of UAAP work. And we take a look at the starters for the Akari Chargers.
Yeah, what's clear is said Domingo will not start. It is Jaja Villena. So she's got big shoes to fill in this match.
I love that expression. Big shoes to fill.
Literally.
Di ba? It's never, bihira yung magkasukat kayo na saktong-sakto. And look at this, more or less the familiar names. And Micaela Belen, of course, will be the cynosure of all eyes here tonight. Boy, that 5-setter, that was a nail-biter. Yun, hanggang dulo hindi mo alam. Lumaban talaga yung Yung kalaban ng
Creamline and
Cream.
next leg.
lumaban talaga yung next leg kanina.
That's rich championship history also for some of the players.
Yeah, actually. It could have gone either way. Anong nag-keep sets? Either way. Anyway, here we go with this one. This serve in action. Nabor. Belen tipped it over.
Wow!
Oh boy. You don't see that every day. Direct islobo mo yan. Para tayo nag-cover ng World Cup. Baka kulang ng players ang football team.
Mars Alba will apply.
Mars, pwede ka doon. Uy, pero ito, long rally, sabi mo kanina. Natapos.
Yeah, well, you know, give credit to Mars Alba and the rest of Akari. They worked hard for that goal.
Pati si Coach Tina Salak nakangiti eh. Yeah! Lahat natawa eh. No? Pwede kasi yan. Hindi naman hindi pwede yan.
But it wasn't near eh. I mean, ang galing, ganda ng timing.
Para siya si Pele. Reverse. Paulit natin. Let her do it again.
I'm sure iba na yung outcome.
2-1 po yung score natin. Magang lamang ng Akari. Nabor. Sets up Belen.
Just a smart hit, targeting the outer hands. You know, the goal really is to brush it off the blocker.
And it is now tied at 2 apiece here in what will be I expect a protracted struggle between these two. Excellent pickup by Nabor. Back row strike. Shaya Adorador. From the middle we go. Villena trying. Belen.
Oh, good cover.
Using the hands. Laksina. Push to the back. No device. No effect rather. Oh!
Heads up play there by Nego, seeing that Alba actually is a back row setter. But you can sense, Sir Seth, early on, they're really fighting for every point.
Because of the team standings
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
And then you face a team that seems to be like you also. You want to beat that team to gain some advantage in the team standings.
Also, we just have to say, even if they don't make it to the top 4, there's still a chance. So you just want to keep improving.
And you want to continue to build momentum.
Yeah.
So that it will run over straight into the tournament for the long run. In the meantime, Doromal picks it up. Michaela on a cross, didn't get the bite. And the hole!
That's a smart tip, just reading the defense of CAPITAL1. And Isoyud, that's probably going to be her easiest point.
Gusto ko yung improvement ni Elisoyo
Through the years, no?
From, I think the fact that she got more playing time. We've seen her come off the bench, not played, and then just a great improvement. Kung meron most improved player, I think she was last year. In the meantime,
Yeah, that's what you're hoping for Sydney Egos. No? To be something like an Elisoyud.
let's go to Franny Reyes.
7 Noreen, you guys might have noticed Jaja Villena in the starting 6 for the Akari Chargers. She's filling in for Seth Domingo, the usual starter, who has been feeling under the weather and only joined practice yesterday. Now, Jaja Villena told me that she's rising to the challenge. There is trust put in her by her coaches, and she trusts that they trust her. She said that kahit na may pressure, mas nangingibabaw ang saya. At kaya ko din to, at yun din ang sinabi ng ate Sedi niya, kakayanin mo yan. She said to make it a goal, to really play well so that Seth doesn't have to enter. And if those aren't inspiring or motivating words from her ate, I think we can see a lot more to come from Jaja Villena, the rookie, in tonight's match. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Franny. Alam mo itong venue natin, being so tight and compact. When it's loud, it's loud. When may drums pa, no? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you know, for me, these people who get playing time because of anything, health issues, I mean, they're just raring to go.
Yeah.
They're waiting for this moment.
You know, they get their playing time also in training because they play against the starting 6. Bugbugan yan di ba? But your goal eventually is bugin mo talaga yung starting six to be good enough to get some piece of playing time in the starting six. All you want sometimes is a chance.
Yeah.
In the meantime, this setup, oh, no, it's outside. There's a claim of touch. We will have a challenge.
Getchel Saltones admitted
Napakabait na bata.
through the years, right?
Ah,
Si Lady Beast. Boy, you know, really, that's what, for Capital One, you're hoping that Negos will build from that 20-point output.
Yeah.
And so far, no, she's looking really more confident.
Sultones dinking it over. Belen prepares this shot. Handled well in the background. Oh, the shot by Sultones. Tinaas by Nabor.
Good save.
Yes, indeed. And Alba.
Whoa!
We are alive. We are alive. This is not yet done. We are talking of long rallies. We got tons of them.
Boy, that's just a smart set by Alba because you saw the defense of Capital One in complete disarray, and then you set it to VP Sharma. Look at that. But good effort on the part of Nunag, actually, in terms of floor defense.
Yes, we're tied at 6. Doromal makes it a set. Niegas has to toss it over. It is long and out.
I think that's adrenaline working for Negos.
Each team has tasted the lead, but they have not been long stints with the lead as we have Soyun serving.
Good serve.
Wow, red hot. And 2-point lead as we hit the first technical timeout. Taking a break here. 8-6 is the count. You know, sometimes when the director yells, Q, 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 and then you're not talking, nagwawalder sila kung may nangyayari, may problema. Ang totoo niyan, hindi ko pa alam kung ano sasabihin ko eh. Di ba nagwawala yung si Director Marvin? Q, 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 akala nila may... Ano nga ba pwede kong sabihin? 8-6 ang score. When in doubt, say the score.
Yeah. Thanks for that tip.
Ang ganda ng exchanges eh. Yung rallies, anticipated ng question natin. Masigasig ang ating mga player. Soltones.
Oh, good dig.
Doromal doing what she does best. That is overcooked.
Yeah, Negos was pretty much out of position there. She had to bend backward.
9-6. Technical timeout tayo. 8-6 ang count nun. First time to have a 3-point lead. Doesn't last very long as that serve sails long.
But you see early on, Jasmine Nabor is not going solely to Micaela Belen. Now she's distributing the ball, which is good because you're trying to build the other, trying to help them build their confidence.
Can't be all me.
Yeah.
I'll do my job, but let's help each other. Look at Micaela do everything. And the pipe attack by Sydney. To the back row, long.
We've seen that from both these teams, and so far it hasn't been successful. Yung too much adrenaline. No? You have the right thing in mind. You want to surprise.
You can actually hear your heart pumping. Short. And look at that. That three-point lead vanished.
Errors actually setting in. Haven't heard too much from Ivy Laxina yet from Akari.
Soltones. Here comes Soyud shooting. Did she get it? Yes, she got it.
Calculated. No, just enough top spin to clip the line.
So your schedule tonight, and then you have volleyball tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Yay. No, one thing great also is the Spikers turf tomorrow. It's going to be Savolj going up against Crisscross. That's in the late in the afternoon. Oh, that's a miss. Baka naman bitin pa kayo sa volleyball niyan, ha?
That's why I love the first quarter, really. Start of the second. Right?
You think it's easy for us, scheduling-wise? Nahihilo rin yung mga producer namin. 10-all! But we're glad you're enjoying all the games. Soyud short.
One thing both these teams need to figure out really is how to address their errors, you know?
Too many, ano?
Too many errors. Hitting errors, service errors. I mean, for me, it's a waste because they're working so hard in defense. And then the hitting
I
error.
think they have to chill a little.
Yeah.
Talk of errors, ayan ang count.
Oh, good save. Yeah, Akari with 8. Capital with just 3.
Oh! Spike of the set at exchange ng Duncan, pasalubok ng bayan.
Like this connection, Alba and Sharma. It's been getting better and better, ah.
Yeah. Parang alam na ni Mars anong gusto ni Fifi na set.
Yeah.
Huli ka. Huli rin sa baba. Nabor pushes it to the back row. Here comes the attack. Tipping it over. Belen reads it well. Belen says, let me try this. It's read by the other side as well. So you're catching it. Here's Soltones. Adorador says, no way. Here comes Belen. There it is.
Well, we talked about, actually, Franny talked about Micaela Belen and her scoring about 20 points per game. So she has her work cut out for her. You know, she's just in one sheet of paper still.
Wala, may mga player talagang ganun eh, no? Malabente palagi. She has not missed out on 20. Oh! Liliana ends up drowning there. And it's a 2-point lead by Capital. Tina Sala wants to talk to her crew. You know, this version of Tina Sala, this 2026 version, I saw this many years ago. When she was still a player, she would calm down her team, regardless of what team she was playing for. She calms down the team. She's a natural leader. And the way she's coaching FU and this team, just the same. Such a good leader. And she's right. She wants quality sets. You were talking of Laxina.
Yeah, I mean, coming off that huddle, like that Laxina's making her presence felt. We did talk about the triple threat for Akari. San Domingo is down. We don't know if she's going to play. So the other two, which is Sharma and Laxina, they need to
Get going.
yeah.
And talking about that, you said you haven't heard from Laxina. Just her first point. In the meantime, it is 14-12 as Miss Belen continues to be prolific.
Blockers were there, but see the way she
dodge the hands of Laxina. Just so smart.
I love her wrist action.
Yeah, yeah.
So tricky, so sly, so smart. You're right. If Sydney can continue to contribute, mahirap kalaban ng Capital One because on both ends,
Yeah.
they're hard to defend.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to change your strategy when you play against Capital One.
You have to change your defensive alignment, your system. You're not guarding only one person. That serve long, and the errors continue to pile up for both sides.
Yeah, and it happens always when there's a run, and then the error there.
Downer rin.
But you know, if you're an Akari fan, the way Laxina hit that first point, you gotta be happy.
Yeah, I agree.
Hope for more.
Belen receiving. Belen shooting.
The versatility of a Micaela Belen is just amazing.
And we will take a break for the second technical timeout. 16-13 lead by Capital One. Okay, the cameras of our director, Marvin Chavez, the king of the pipe sets, is zooming in. Direct, wala talaga. Tatak mo na yan eh.
No, but you know, the way things are going.
Yeah, the competition is getting intense. Ano?
Yeah.
Belen serve and play. The drop. Whoa, get out of the way. And that works. Muntik matagal na si Urbina doon.
Good effort there, but you know, Shaya Dorador through the years has
Yes.
proven to be reliable. You know, reliable in both
In all teams.
defense
Yeah, yeah.
and offense.
Remember in the UAAP when her team wasn't so, she was the shining bright light of
Yeah.
that team of the University of the East. In the meantime, this serve goes awry and it will make it 17-14. First set action. Glad you're with us, Sam Sarmento, Norindo, and Franny Reyes, taking care of your second game. We're coming a little late because the first game was really a nail-biter all the way. Creamline winning in 5 against Nextline. That's a tough set for Nabor, but they still may do it.
That's a major ad-lib right there.
I think so.
And you know what? That's what we always say. Once the ball is sent to you, it's your responsibility. You cannot blame the setter. It's gone. I mean, it's there. So, Nunag did the right thing, just putting it in.
Ang ganda naman ng bali ni Nabor doon sa set.
Yeah.
When she twisted just a tad. Oh, Regalo! Not pounced upon cleanly by Gaston. Into the far end of the end zone.
Boy, these players are really targeting the end zone, whether or not they want to set it or tip it. And so far, again, they have to settle down because it's too strong.
Nobody wants to play short tonight.
Yeah.
Huh? They're sending it long. Even that one. And Belen is sprawled away.
Well, you know, with training, all these players are used to the hard, strong spikes, right? So the hardest to get actually are the line balls,
Oh, yeah.
right? Because of the defensive pattern.
Errors continue to pile up here. Well, it's part of the game. You know, it's a given. The team that manages them better usually emerges with their heads above the water.
Yeah.
Nice set. Adorador, you're right. Miss reliable. Saltoners. Belen with hands on it. Kept in play by Gaston. The shot. Yeah!
good news for Coach Jorge. She's continuing from where she left off in that last game with 20 points.
Diegos knocking that down, giving them a 5-point lead at this crucial stretch of the first set. She serves. Reverse set. Nicely done.
Baby Jean Sereno.
I took a long time at looking. It looked like Soltones at first.
Sultan is up to serve.
Yeah.
Well, Coach Tina looking for a spark plug.
There she is. Belen sends it airborne. Alangan. Eh! No! Nagawalang paraan. They miss reliable.
Yeah? I mean, that is literally making do with what is given to you. That is not, that's so smart of Adora.
Papaluin ko ba o tatapikin? Tapik na lang. Ganon din yun.
She had very limited options there.
And they had to decide on it in a split second. Huh? Okay lang yun, Shaya.
You can
Yeah.
commit a few errors here and there.
Uy. Sino itong pumasok? San Domingo na ba yan?
Well, for the fans, they're just hoping that she's healthy because we did hear that she only joined practice yesterday due to an illness.
And that's hit out.
Boy, Bella Belen. Micaela Belen.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was going to say really MVP type of numbers.
Yeah. Alam mo, she said, and I'm sure the call of the game is so loud, but we hope, of course, that she's fit to play. Kasi baka may repercussions din yun. Di ba? In the meantime, Miss Reliable makes it happen.
Yeah, Jazz Nabor is just doing an excellent job in distributing that ball.
Oh, yes.
Look at that. Because she distributed it really well, no blockers inside.
Purado. Gone. Reverse set. Blocked. Recycled offense. The strike. Here's Gaston tossing it high. Nabor goes to Micaela. Tips it over. No dice. Here comes a stab from the rear by Sultones. Nabor says, let's try this with Cherry. In the meantime, here's the set. The shot. Nice slide to the floor by the It is still alive, but Nador shoots it away. Here comes the stab. It's outside.
It was out. Look at Pauline Gaston just staring.
We are at set point with a timeout taken by Tina Sala.
Ang nangyayari, nagkakanya-kanya tayo. Sa blockings pa lang, hiwalay yung blockings natin. Kailangan yung nasa dulo, mag-mark block na. Ha? Para maayos yung pattern natin, okay? Let's go!
Kaya yung in-ensayo natin bukas, hindi naman ganito ang labas natin!
Akari! Para madina yun.
There's a democracy that exists in the Akari timeout. They allow Justina Sereno to sort of explain to everybody what they have to do, actually. And, you know, when a player has a point to make, why not?
Yeah. Well, what you gathered from their spirits are high, so they just need to play their game.
Set may be out of reach given the score, 24-17. Luxina shoots. It's handled well. Gaston has been playing well on the floor. And that is miss. We're done.
Yeah, you can see, I mean, CAPITAL1 looks like the more focused team here in the first set. Everybody contributing to their cause.
And they close it out with 4 straight points. And the final count is 25-17. Back with your game after this. 25-17 nang matapos ang ating first set, and tons of digging, tons of exchanges, but also tons of errors, which can be expected in a high-octane game. Some highlights from that first set.
Yeah, what you really noticed from both teams is their floor defense. They were working. They were putting in so much effort to keep the rallies alive, right? And for me, it's really Akari's errors that did them in. You know, they were trying to build and then find the rhythm and then error. Then the same, then error. Then it's just like they couldn't move forward. They couldn't, like, they were like on cruise control. And testament to what I said, 12 errors. You double the error of your opponent. So that's one thing they need to correct, because in all other aspects, you only have one ace to boast, you know. The Solar Spikers had more attacks. But for both these teams, we actually want to see more net defense, more blocks, and more stops at the net to actually add spice to this game, because the floor defense we are enjoying immensely.
Actually, ano? And just in terms of the scoring, Belen leading the pack with 5, Diegos at 4, and Doradora 3. Now, what is the point of all that? It doesn't have to be all Micaela Belen carrying or doing, as we say, the heavy lifting.
Yeah, we've seen it, you know, like at the top of the coverage, we talked about Akari's triple threat and how if they all contribute, they're successful. It actually goes also for the other teams like CAPITAL1. You know, it cannot be just one person, because you know defense will clamp down on them, so they need the others to get involved.
Okay, just in time to start the second set. First set ended at 25-17. Again, earlier tonight we had Creamline finishing off next leg in 5 sets. Good battle between two sides that really wanted to win.
Well, you know, the challenge for CAPITAL1 is, can you play consistently at the same level? Because we've seen them, if they play the way they did in set number 1, and we've seen that in previous matches, they can compete alongside any team for that matter. But when you look at the standings, it's not translating into win. So they need to play at a certain level the entire match.
And the top of the standings, in fact, we'll try to review that later on when we have a chance to do so, as Belen and Corks, but kept very much in play, but mishandled on the pass.
For the offense of CAPITAL1 so far, relentless. They're taking from set 1.
Kasi tama ka, Signal playing well, 5-2. KLDT, 5-1. Creamline, 5-1 na rin. Choco Mucho playing at 500%. Farm Fresh, yung fourth spot lagi ang pinaka-hotly contested. Who will make it? Because you're right, you don't have to go through the play-in. One game you lose, you're gone.
Yeah, but again, both these teams have an outside chance.
Laksina trying to get going here. Hits the floor with that strike. It is now 2-1.
Well, she didn't, for me, she didn't get a lot of sets in the first set. So maybe you want to go to her a bit more, because she's been hitting well.
So Laksina gets an opportunity to serve. Down as of the moment, 1 against 2. Belen on the receiving end. Diego San, that'll score.
Don't you love it that the ones not scouted?
Spike at the set. Brought to you by Dunkin. Alam mo, pagka may plot na ganyan, bigyan niyo ako ng donut para maalala ko. Pasalubong ng bayan. Kasi kung babasahin ko lang, di ba, iabutan niyo ako ng donut, di ba? Madali akong kausap dun eh.
Did you hear that? People in the back?
Do they want a donut?
The production?
Do they want a donut too? Anyway. So that is Spike of the Set. Brought to you by Dunkin. Pasalubong ng bayan, of course. Fifi Sharma is going to serve.
That's a good serve.
Hindi tumawid. Tinaas ni Nunag. Dito tayo. Kay Shaya. Kuha.
2 yung kanto na yun. Well, Tagaod might be that missing piece so far for Akari.
Cherry Tagaod knocking that down the line. We're tied at 3. You know, I like the line of Tina Salak earlier. We need quality sets. And you know how she was as a setter. So you know what she's expecting and hoping for. Nuna keeps it very much in play. Snug, that's hit out.
But at first you don't succeed, you keep trying. And what I heard is Sid Diegos is a hard worker. I mean, she really...
I would think so.
Yeah, no?
And you know, I can feel her confidence. We've seen her just come off the bench, in, out, in, out. But now you can sense the confidence.
She wants the ball.
Oh, yes, indeed. Asking for it. And Nabor has done well by feeding her. Nabor tosses it to the back row. Alanganin si Micaela. Didn't like the set. Ah! Drowning in the water was Domingo.
You know, she may be healthy, but the lift isn't there yet for San Domingo. Again, really coming off a health issue, sometimes even if you want to play, your muscles haven't fully recovered.
Oh,
Yung lift, no?
either dehydrated ka, yung medication, di ba?
Now a serve for Lunag, targeting Jenny Tagaod.
Kala ko ako tinatarget. Pumunta rin ito.
Tinarget ka ni Chen.
Ano Cherry? 6'3". Nice swing. Pati si Coach De Brito, the Brazilian gold medalist, avoided that.
Nice set. Look at this set. Blockers were slow and saw you that a clean look to go line.
Kita niyo yung ilag ni Coach Jorge. Oh, Sydney!
Again, this player almost didn't play this conference. They said their goodbyes.
O nga pala.
Yeah, and then Coach Jorge actually invited her again. So, good decision, Coach De Brito.
Parang mo na-announce nga, no, na this is their last season. In the meantime, 3 players stumble. Muntik magkauntugan si Sydney, si Orvina, at si Micaela. Buti na lang nagkaiwasan. Ayan, no?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oops! And that's a better connection with Sed Domingo.
Tagaod serve. Belen brings us to the end of the first set of 8 points. We shall be back after the technical break.
You're watching the PVL All-Filipino Conference, and the Capital1 Solar Spikers are leading against the Akari Chargers in the second set. Now, I got to speak with Rachel Horvina before this match, and we talked about the identity of Capital1, and she told me there's one word that can encapsulate that, and that is passion. Passion and belief and trust in each other in this game that they love, and it's been on full display in their side of the court. She told me that they know Akari is good defensively, and that's why they have to step up too, and they really focused on the finer details, the spacing, the timing in their defense, but also on their psyche. They had a sports psychology session this week really to align with each other on the mental side of things, and they found that really everyone is locked in. They know that they have to keep winning these games to make it into the top four, and there are no signs of stopping. Actually, in the huddle earlier, I heard players like Pongay Gaston saying it's all about energy right now, and the energy is definitely on the side of the Solar Spikers. Back to you, Submarine.
And somebody who doesn't lack energy is Franny Reyes, of course. Thank you for that report.
Well, they're looking good, but you can sense Akari's now.
Catching fire.
Yeah. I mean, Laksina, again, you might want to set her a bit more because she has been playing well.
Yeah. Good set. Bang!
Playing well ba? Micaela Belen, it's like she doesn't have a bad day. She doesn't have an off day.
Laksina with 4 points. Belen just blasting away here. The score after a short drought, now at 9-7. Good counter that time. And Sharma making that happen.
Yeah. You can get better passes. You can get better sets to the middle. Look at that. That was a perfect pass, actually.
Belen. Luna taps it. Bit of a mishit. But they'll take it. They now lead by 2.
Yeah. You know, that's one thing they want to improve on, that connection, because we know what Cherry Luna, how much power she can generate, but you know, you still got to get the timing.
Kasi against the better blocking teams, wala huli yun eh. Nicely. Oh, sayang. Sayang. Nabor with a hand on it. Diegos had no angle, but they have A for effort there.
Yeah. But it is a close second set here.
Now Laksina will serve. Now if you're Akari, you want to take this second set. Don't give Capital One the confidence of a 2-set to love lead.
Wow!
But this woman is just doing exceptionally well.
I know, it happened right in front of us. You appreciate how she just avoids the blocker. Look at that. And with that pace, her 9th point. But her norm is 20.
Kasi wala yan.
Walang 9.
Belen tried to handle that. However, too hot to handle. Can't blame her. 11-10. This crowd has stayed on. This place continues to rock.
Well, it's good entertainment.
Yes. We hope you're enjoying it too. Sharma serve just above the net. Here comes the flight. Shaya Dorador. Here comes the set. Tagawa, Dan Belen is out of position. We're tied at 11.
Yeah, and then now you can see that Coach Tina made the good decision in putting in Chani Tagao. Putting it off the high hands.
So kapag tumalon ka na talaga, yung end line lang na yan. Mahirap talaga yun. Samantala, eto si Fifi Sharma. Woo! Woo! Red hot! Doromal unable to contain it.
Well, she's been serving tough.
3 straight points now by Akari, forcing Coach Jorge to press the timeout buzzer.
This one is out, okay? It's out, and it's done, okay? Don't need the A pass, it's a B and C, it's fine. You can control, have 3 guys there. Good?
When it's foreign, when the coaches are foreign, I love the translation after by the women, which is completely, very often different, but means the same thing. Okay, lamang ng isa ang Akari.
That's a better pass.
Sydney. Block. Sharma tracks it down. The set, the toss, no chance to attack. Nunag flies. Adorador Sharma sprawled down on the floor. Tagaod, Belen gets to it. Here's a pass. Negos, nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's where you know that you've scouted your opponents, right? The blocking is really focusing on Niegos because they know that the ball's been going to Niegos.
That's 4 straight points by Akari to give them a 2-point lead.
That's the fight back you want to see from Akari.
Ooh, but Akari wastes the serve. Lead is reduced to 1.
Yeah, I mean, easier said, no? She can afford. She deserves because she's the reason why they have a lead right now.
Blocked, return. Gaston, adamant about it. Belen shoots
good dig.
away. Good dig that time by Hazareno. Into the hole!
Well, ever since she joined Akari, when she come off the bench, she always provides something. Some change, some energy, some life.
An excellent radar. Excellent read on the open space. However, the serve is wasted. It's cut down to 1.
They have to be careful. Remember, in the first set, they doubled the error output of CAPITAL1, 12-6.
We've got Leila Cruz coming in, Iris Tolenada.
That's a good serve.
Tagaod making things happen here.
Well, Tagaod has played Cruz in the collegiate ranks years back. No stranger.
Azareno tight, close. Hindi na itusok. Tolenada is there. Alba reaches for it. Tough set. Forced to push it to the back. Doromal shoves it high into the hands of Alba. Laxina. Iris. Doromal. Cruz.
Long rally.
You were talking about the hashtag, the question. Nabasa ni Mars. Joust.
Oh, good save. Oh! Boy, San Domingo looks winded there. But the effort, come on. Defensive stops, look at that.
And looking at the facial expression of Sen, just agonizing here.
Yeah. She fell on her behind.
Yeah. Shaya Adorador, big pickup by Laxina. Sawyer blasts away, Adorador steady. Here comes a shot of Cruz into the waiting arms of Sawyer. Laxina, it's lifted high by Tolenada. Gaston heaves it over. Laxina aims and scores!
Yeah, I mean, she was out of position, not the perfect set, but she makes do.
And she twisted her body at the right moment to deliver the point. We are at the second technical timeout. Okay, UAAP season 88 volleyball, as you know, is in full swing. Watch the games every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday on the Filipinas Live, both the men's and the women's competition, of course. We're also available on the UAAP Varsity channel and on One Sports because legends do start right there, right in the UAAP. 16-14 tally here. Second set action. We have a 2-point lead by Akari.
But this is there's no shortage of action here in the
No.
second set.
First set won by CAPITAL1 at 25-17. Micaela already half of her average of 20, already with 10.
You know, that's how good she is, but you're actually surprised that Akari is not like putting more effort into trying to stop Bella Belen.
I agree, but sometimes the set is so quick.
Yeah.
And they capitalize on her youth and her energy. Mars running into it. Belen enjoying that. Back to her. Oh, missed it.
Everything but that last shot. Now you feel for her because after that good dig, it's like you feel so good and then did it wide.
And Iris, when she set it for Michaela, said, "You earned this."
Yeah.
But okay, life will go on. Cruz off the hands of a blocker, and that will make it 17-16.
You forget that Cruz is also part of the national team.
Cruz and Iris will dart out. We have the board back in as well as Negos.
Well, if you're Coach Jorge, you have to be happy with that short stint of that two.
Nabor went diagonal there. Oh, in the corner. Laxina beginning to love the game. She has 6 so far.
Well, that last match against Signal, she had 20, so she's getting better and better this conference.
We've got Gretchen Sultanas all set to serve. Adorador receiving. Belen. Asarena says, "Hoy, buhay pa!" Buhay pa yan!
Well, finally a monster block from Akari on Micaela Belen, but you have to credit half that point to Hazareno.
Timeout taken by Coach De Brito.
Again, more time for us. It's okay, the same play. Okay, but now we shift. Now shift can open themselves. Okay? Let's go, let's go.
Hey, Kapitan! Sa Marta!
The count is 19-16. Akari down 1 set to love. Trying to equalize the set count. Got our own version of a nail biter here in our second game. Belen on corks and delivers.
So you get, after getting blocks, you kind of adjusted and tried to elude the blockers. You see, just that small gap, and she took advantage of it.
This may not sound right, but she's like a baby-faced assassin, actually. But she misses that serve. She'll score on such a beautiful set, strike hard, and then give you a big smile, and how can you hate her?
She's like the boss baby.
Yeah, talking. We got our whole list of cartoons and movies, animated ones that we talked about earlier today. 2017 tally here, Charmant serve in play. Nunag, that won't stay down. It's in the air, blocked. Opposite end, Tagaod. Kept in play by Mars. Oh! Sealed and delivered.
Well, we asked that of the team, both these teams. We didn't see any blocks in set number 1, and they have been delivering.
Akari's turn to call a timeout. The sub was about to come in for Capital, but let's listen here to Tina Salak now.
Pero wag mo na. Check na yung down the line. Pwede na diretso mo sa kung ano yung PVL. Check na. So, kailangan pa dyan sa Lenny, bilisan mo na yung palo mo. Mas may down the line. Nakainin yan. O sige, isang magandang pasa lang. Again, hat. Tulong tayo, hat.
This is, kind of special. I know naabutan ni Sultones, naglalaro pa si Tina Salak. Na the others hindi na naabutan. But such a quality player, Tina Salak. And the way she's coaching, boy, no difference really.
And for me, the best decision she ever made was to convert. I'm sure it was somebody else. It's a coach who said to convert her into a setter, but that prolonged her career.
And this is how old I am. I covered her when she was playing for the Asian Youth in Baguio back in, I think, the 90s. This service out. This passes out, rather.
Oh, the errors shouldn't be setting in at this point.
For Akari, no?
Yeah, because they've worked so hard to get the lead and to try to protect it.
Tisha, Genesis, Tagaud, slide to the floor, block.
We are tied. You did say this is going to be a nail biter as well, like that first game.
Buti na lang si referee Eusebio magaling umilag. And now that is 4 straight points by Capital One. They've overtaken Akari that was leading earlier in 2017. Whatever Akari wants to do at this point, they've got to do it first defensively.
Yeah.
They've got to do something defensively before they can get into whatever offense they have in mind there.
And they have to weigh their options, really.
Yeah.
Who do they go to? Well, that connection has been shut.
5 straight points.
Great defense there from Capital One.
Biglang huminto scoring ng Akari. Tip. It's kept alive. Genesis was there. Blocked, but kept in play. Nabor.
Oh, what a dig!
Tagaud rejected. Elevated. Hit out. Finally, they get back on the board.
Yeah, Micaela Belen's got to think twice in targeting Hazareno. Hazareno has been getting her number. Has got her number.
Parang alam niyan, ito, dito yan, dito yan, dito yan, dito yan, akin yan.
Kasi if you give it to me for Hazareno, I'm gonna dig it.
This is going to be a cardiac finish for the second set. Let's see how it evolves. Yego's nowhere to go.
That's a huge stop for Akari. But yeah, Capital One's coverage caught napping. Look at that, nobody there to cover.
Gaston returns. Madrigal is brought out. Here comes this serve.
Oh, good save.
Tagaod. Yes!
Yeah, Tagaod has been big for Akari. But what about Hazareno? Look at this. It's like she had a racket. Like a badminton or a pickleball racket.
Tagaod with 6 points. Nabor. Adorador. Hazareno jams it. Tagaod gets it to go!
Shani Tagaod has been carrying the offensive load for Akari. So, you know, Mars Alba, smart in going to Tagaod.
And Bonafé will serve for the set. 4-point swing by Akari to counter that 5-0 run of Capital 1. Chance to attack as the free ball is given up. To the back row. Nabor stretches for it. Doromal. Hijack, but in play. Doromal cleans it up. Yegas does not force it. Back row action at work. Adorador has it.
Still alive.
Yes, it is. Long rallies. Oh!
That was just a smart drop there by Soreño.
And we're going to a long journey for this one. Sets are tied at 1 apiece. Franny, ano yung topic mo sa report mo sa window?
Jasmine Naboy
Okay,
said
okay.
labanan to ng setters.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Yep.
Numbers muna. Okay, close and tight. 1 set apiece. Why not? Given the importance of this game in the race for positions in the team standings. Ano ha?
Yeah, Coach Tina just did a great job.
Oh, yes.
Masterful job of shuffling her players. Her bench players came off the bench and contributed. Sheni Tagaud for a huge substitution.
They were down 22-20.
Right?
Then scored 5 straight. Ganun lang.
Yeah, that's what you like. The people you tap from the bench, they deliver, which is rightfully so. No? So, Akari, yeah, they have to lean on the bench, but whatever works, really, it is a total team effort. Let us take a look at some statistics here. Out attack, out block, and lesser errors. Although Capital won with just 3, no, but they have to improve on their attacking if they want to get another set off of Akari. But Akari looking good. It's a great change up from the first set.
And it's an opportunity for us now to talk about how valuable this game is from the setters who are taking on each other. With some great setters here in this game, Noreen.
Well, we see the composition of this team, of both these teams. So they're very good players. So it's a matter of distributing the ball. And both setters, actually, for that matter, they've been distributing really well.
And that's so important. Franny, I understand you were able to chat to our 2 setters for this game?
Yeah, actually, sabi nga ni Jasmine Naboy, labanan to ng setter who can distribute the ball better, who can take that team, or their team rather, to a win, because there are so many options to go through on both teams. Now, Jas was also telling me it's about having that end game, you know, really being able to finish sets and finish games. Whereas on the side of Akari, Mars was telling me it's about having the right patience. Now, both these setters have similar experiences in the last few conferences, really. Both setters are new to their teams and still really finding their grooves, but really, there's so much they can do, so many options to go through. So, maybe aside from the digging, aside from the liberos, labanan nga to ng setters, 7 Marine.
Pati mga setter na sumasayaw, gaya ni Marz Alba, no ha? Si Marz, sa national team, sayaw na sayaw sa mga TikTok yan.
And you love the personalities, really.
Of
They're
course,
not
of course.
just, you know, they're not just all volleyball. They're having fun.
I like your point about what Tina Salak did in that first set. Magic bunot din with Cherry Tagaod. Chenny ba? Chenny, ano?
Chenny.
Tagaod. And let's see if this magic will hold on. Mars says, huli.
Oh, good dig.
Doromal taking care of that one. Belen misses on the cross.
Trying to go for an acute angle there.
Acute angle. I've not
Acute.
heard that word in ages.
What's the other one? Obtuse?
Wala, alam ko lang right angle. 90 degrees.
Let's stick to that.
Yeah. 1-0 for Capital 1. For Akari rather. That's alive.
Yeah, playable.
Now it is 1-1, I think.
Ella Belen, that's probably her 11th point or so. But that's mentioned Tagaod coming off the bench scoring 7. You know, so she's one of the top scorers for Akari.
Good cross attempt that time. Just didn't stay down. It's in the air. Azareno. Mars, too tight. No problem. Elevated high that time. Oh, great battle of the liberos as well. Block and out.
Well, yeah, much to the... You have to credit really Hazareno there in set number 2. You know, she has been digging really well. She was guarding Micaela Belen. That's why they actually had that chance to take set number 2.
They took away a number of points away from Belen, actually. She denied some of her attempts, key ones, actually, during that run in the end. And messy passing by Capital 1 now. Akari with a slight lead of 2.
Well, Akari's been doing a good job in the service area. Yeah, we saw like Sharma had a couple of aces.
Laksina to the waiting hands of Doromal. Belen.
Well, her target is really 20 or more, so she's well on her way.
You know, Micaela is like a typhoon. You know it's coming, and more often than not, can't do much about it.
Well, Hazareno tried and is trying.
Soyot shoots. Belen hits the floor, and we are all at... I thought we were tied, but we're actually at 4-2.
Yeah, remember the challenge that we posed, or we gave to Capital 1 is, can you play consistently?
At a certain level that's needed, And games like this will draw out that particular consistency, hopefully. Here comes Tagaod. Doromals tries to step out of the path of Belen. Sharma with a puto move. Soyun lets them scamper.
Oh, good
It's
save.
alive. Laksina with a good toss. Tagaod.
Oh!
Still alive. Alba swings to Soyun. Crowd enjoying this. Alba tossed over.
Oh!
Shayna hesitated. Soyun whips it over.
Still alive!
Laksina calmly. Soyun blasts away. It's handled by the blockers.
Long
Domingo.
rally. Boy, you feel for these ladies. That was a long rally. They are huffing and puffing.
And some were not breathing.
Look at that. That reaction says it all.
I guess so. We're at 4-3. Madrigal serving at 3-4.
Yeah. But these ladies are trained to recover fast.
They're young. Oh! Tagaod knocks it down.
Chenny Tagaw playing well for Akari.
And she delivers her spike of the set brought to you by Duncan, pasalubong ng bayan. Thank you.
And because Tagaw is playing well, it spreads the blocking of Capital.
Yes. Belen. Nice set. Niegos adjusting in the air. Tagaod. Adorador gets the corner.
Finds the line again. Doesn't get a lot of sets, but very efficient.
Niegos will serve. Ow! Wala sa timing, she said.
Yeah, but they call a check ball on Nunag.
Do they? No challenge, no dispute there. It's now 6-4. Akari with a slight lead.
I think they call a net violation.
Did they? Most likely.
She was, Erlinda Eusebio was pointing to the net.
Ah, so, okay.
Yeah. Good serve.
If he says so. Ah, wisely done by Jazz Tabor.
You know that's part of her arsenal. She is an aggressive setter. That's a smart dump there.
Very tight, very close. Anybody's match here. Adorador. Tagaod, who has 8 points. Laksina missed it, and this will tie up this third set.
Yeah, but nip and tuck affair.
That flew out.
It's a close set. It's not clean. A bit of errors also here and there.
Yeah. Some of the points, the majority of the points actually coming from miscues. Belen denied. And we have hit the first technical timeout of set number 3. 8-6 lead by Akari.
You're watching the PVL All-Filipino Conference, and it's the CAPITAL1 Solar Spikers facing off against IB Laxina and the Akari Chargers. And speaking of IB Laxina, we're seeing a healthier, more disciplined Laxina for this conference. She told me that it was very important for her to feel that confidence coming from her own health and how she's moving now compared to before. And she really highlighted how discipline has changed her game. She feels more powerful and she feels a lot faster when she's inside the court. Now about the Akari Chargers, she said it's important that as a team they control their pace and they set the tone. She knows that in a game against CAPITAL1, it's so easy to follow their rhythm, but they have to set that themselves. Pulido sila gumalaw, and in training they need to be able to bring that out into the game right now. Now she also said they have the match or higitin pa ang aggressiveness and eagerness of the Solar Spikers. It's been a close set so far, 7-arene, and it looks like it'll be a close game after all. Back to you guys.
You're simply saying it might reach 5 sets. Okay lang yan. Oh, Soyot missing that.
You know, during that technical timeout, I was looking at the huddle of Akari. What a coach. They have a very deep bench in terms of coaching. You see,
nga pala, no?
Vince Mangulabnan, head coach of Ateneo men's volleyball team. Then you have Ed Orculio.
Sa FEU, ano?
FEU. That's a mean bunch.
And they all follow Miss Tina Sara. Yeah. I saw Ateneo against UST live last week. Josh Ibanez scored 29 points.
Yeah.
And then Ateneo committed 28 service errors. One set.
That's it.
And that's why UST won in 4. 10-8 ang score natin. Akari is in the lead here.
Yeah, the pace has slowed down here in the third set.
Ayun na naman yung sipa. Josh couldn't kick it up. And Alba has now given them a 3-point lead.
Let's manage our energy first. That's what we're gonna draw the skills from. Not to talk. Make it simple lang. You have to practice all the time.
Okay, the count is 11-8. Akari has a slight lead here in this third.
That's a good serve.
That's short.
Right, lapsing into errors, no? CAPITAL1.
3 straight points now by Akari. They lead by 4.
And Mars Alba serving means they have a full front.
Nabor, Belen. Sereno has the number of Micaela Belen. On the cross, huh? Sharma.
That's a huge block there. That stops the run of Akari.
Fifi is disappointed because she had a chance to pounce on it. But the block was right in front of her then. Nabor. That's blocked away.
Well, Laxina, again, no, she's been playing well this conference. We heard she's healthy, and it shows in the numbers she's been putting up.
Chargers now lead by 4. Laxina will be serving. Dug up from down under. Block! Takao doing a little of everything.
Yeah, really the defense of Akari, they have focused really on Niegos trying to take her away from the equation.
Yes. Takao knocking in double digits now with 10. 14-9. Belen. Alba says, sorry, I wasn't square.
You see the blockers. You have Sharma and Soya. These are two great blockers. I'm just going to go down the line.
Belen has her own built-in ways.
She's the boss, bitch.
She can swing it to a side street in a moment's notice. Tagaod now with 11.
Well, so can Jenny Tagaod. I mean, she earned the nod to start in the third set.
Sharma. Belen sets. That's out. There's a check. There's a check.
Shaya really did target those high hands.
Count is 15-11. 11 now serving against 15. Madrigal's serve in play as Arena tapped it over. She made sure that her hand was in the right place. She sets. Alam mo siya sa Arena, gusto niya mag-set up, pwede
nga
din,
eh.
ano? Iba yung galaw niya. Ah! Sa dulo. Hinabol. Palo! Yun ang palo. Uy, hindi nakuha. Hindi nakuha yung kanto.
Yeah, I mean, Tagaod was looking at Nunag, asking for a check, and then he said, don't challenge.
No, wag. 12-15. Akari still in the lead.
Balik lang, hingi lang tayo. Pwede tayo ganito, pwede tayo ganito. Okay, Eli, hanggat hindi ka nawala kung may kapos. Okay, timingan natin, mataas na yun, timingan. Pwede sa kumay. Let's go lang, pinuto lang ha, putol lang ha, balik tayo ha, pasa tayo ha. Side out tayo, side out. Okay, mamark yun. Akari! Side out!
Galing magbasa ni Tina, no? Kasi napipil niya yung frustration ni Elisoyod, eh. Hanggat hindi ka pa nakakakuha, sige lang.
Yeah. She has a way with words and trying to encourage these players.
Because she's been there through the years, eh.
Yeah.
I often tease her, eh. Pwede ka pa, pwede ka na. Good set. Yun lang, lampas. Eto na. Masaya na ito. 3 straight points by Capital 1.
Well, they have to be careful with their errors. Akari.
Mars Alba was telling her teammates, putulin natin to. Katin natin to. Madrigal serve. She missed it. She missed it.
Another error.
Coaching staff of Akari would like to challenge this.
Yeah, but Cruz said no. I didn't touch it.
Well, it's a good time as ever to sort of get a timeout.
Yeah.
To calm down her troops. Everybody looking at the screen. Nope. Capital 1 engineering a 5-1 assault here. Madrigal has continued to serve. Soyud. Read by Madrigal. Uh-oh, problematic. That pass was a dilemma. And we arrive at the second technical timeout. Akari thinking its lucky stars were still ahead. take a quick review of where the teams are up to today.
There you can see Signal on the top 5 and 2, but followed by PLDT and Creamline 5 and 1. Choco Mucho, Nextled, Farm Fresh, Capital1, Akari, Galleries. They're separated by 1 game pretty much, right? So anything can still happen.
Yung slide ng Sus Coffee, ano? 26, ano? Oh. Now, Soyud, hopefully that will restore her confidence.
Yeah.
Ang gusto ko kay Ellie Soyud, napaka-transparent niya. When she's in the groove, she's beaming. Pagka frustrated, kaya kinakausap ni Tina eh. Samantala, on the other hand, good pick up by Laksina using that long arm. Oh! Belen says, no way. Touch shot, Tagaod. I think she got it with a touch. Somebody touched it.
The guy was saying, this time you got handed that. Well, she really injected some life here for Akari.
Oh, yeah, the instant offense. Yes, 12.
Yeah,
Checking that 11, rather.
11. I like the substitution. Iris Tolenada could be, you know, Capital1. You need to inject some energy as well. They're too quiet.
Balasa, eh, no? Good floor D by Akari. However, in that case, she never blocked. Nowhere to go.
How many times did we see that matchup through the years? Said Domingo and Nunag.
Minsan nag-spill over ang mga rivalry. Pero alam mo, hindi ka rin dapat matagal masyado nagagalit sa iba. Kasi before yun, kakampi mo na eh.
Yeah.
Alba. 12 points by Tagaod.
It's been a breath of fresh air for Coach Tina.
Sultanes will return. Ito yung sabi natin pinakamahirap na trabaho sa volleyball, although Sultanes did start today.
And she has a ton of experience.
Shaya got it, despite the fact that it was not solidly hit.
Shaya showing us a point is a point. We need a run here, Capital1.
Sereno. Laksina. Cruz is there. Sultanes. Alma. Laksina.
Good dig.
Tolenado. Check ball.
Well, she apologizes to Ivy Laksina. And the lead is still a 2, though.
Yeah. That's out.
That may prove to be costly because they're trying to chase here.
And they're currently down now by 3. Here's Set with her serve. Block!
Solo block.
Caldado Sarado. We gotta see that again if we can. But first, it's 21-17.
Joe, with please, we'll share the accountability. That works to the open. Look, it's set in there. Okay? Back to receive. You're doing good there. Doing good? Good. Only tag out there for us to target her. You need to wait because just see the red moving.
Watch this last play. Boom!
Boy, that was read really well by Ivy Laxina, no? Solo block, not a problem.
21-17 count. May dancer doon sa Akari. Si Judith Abel yata yun.
Yeah, that's Abel.
Magulo talaga yun.
Oo nga.
Full swing. And she's getting hot.
Boy, I mean, she did not put the efforts of Seth Domingo to waste. Look at that dig by Domingo.
Laxina has pocketed 12. Tough pass. They managed to make do. Laxina, not this time. Belen.
Oh, good save.
Alba pursued it. Belen fires anew. Soyud. Alba. Laxina. Belen.
Oh!
Return to sender. The Romal is there. Drop! Drop! Tina Salak jumping up and down.
Yeah, they called it. They called it.
Catch and throw.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at Tina. I've never seen her react to a call till now. She's apologizing to the referee. He got over into tactic.
Yeah. The emotions just flowed.
Ayun. Ayun si Tina. Nagtatatalon doon sa tagiliran.
Wow. That's the way to respond. Bella Belen. Tough angle.
No angle is so hard for Micaela Belen.
Yeah.
She will find the way to make do with any set.
And come out with a smile after that. Well, Coach Jorge put in also Ronquillo.
Oh, for the first time. That's France Ronquillo. We've got Gaston serving.
Well, they are chasing, so they need a run.
Something is amiss at the scorer's table. And all is well. Referee Eusebio was at the top. Referee Velarde, who is the second referee, will now give permission for the serve. This crowd has stayed on.
Well, they have their own set of fans, Akari
Yeah.
and Capital1.
Yeah. Nice try by Azareno.
Oh, that's correct. It's a nice try. Hazarena trying to keep that ball alive. Look at that.
Kakatuwa si Vince Mangalum na nagko-coach siya. Para siya nung naglalaro siya. Lakas. Lakas. Timeout. Akari.
Natin madali yung pasa. Ready, ready, Miss Oda, Miss Ready. Huwag kayo magmadali. Close natin yung set. Be patient lang. Pasensya. Habaan ng pasensya. Side out agad. Isang side out tayo. Isang side out tayo. Kailangan lang sila
Kaiti, perfect! Kaiti, perfect! Let's go! Akari!
Interesting profiles of these two coaches. Both are just extra cool. You may be going through traffic. You may be getting your online account messed up, or you're just having a bad day, sabi ni Tina Salak, huwag niyong madaliin.
Patience is key.
And pray a lot as well. In the meantime, Alba, Laksina, got it to hit out, and they arrive at set point finally.
Well, they're sticking to their game plan, you can see. Mars Alba looking for the hot hands. Ivy Laksina.
Belen, Laksina caught fire in these last two sets here, and we are done.
Well, you love the distribution, really, of responsibilities for Akari. Look at that. Precision.
And it was so important, as you pointed out, Noreen, for Laksina to get going as well. We are sliding into a fourth set, 2-1 lead by Akari. That's the flow of the score so far. First set going the route of CAPITAL1, but look at the roarback in the second and third by Akari. That's really charging through. And they've got some dividends from some key players and some surprises as well.
Yeah, you know, it started really when Azareno was taking, well, it's like it was keeping the rallies alive and their chances. And then we talked again at the top of coverage. Akari is successful when they get to go to different players, you know. Namely,
I agree, yeah.
as I feel back, you said some surprises like Chenny Tagaut came off the bench when it wasn't working. So everyone contributing. Ivy Laksina was hot towards the end of that third set with 14 points. And Bella Belen, come on, 18 points. But let's look at some numbers here. Blocking is present. The service of Akari, we did mention, they've been serving well. And they have actually minimized their error by half. CAPITAL1 even had one more in set number 3. So overall, Akari just playing to their, or sticking to their game plan. CAPITAL1, in the first set, they played so well, right? And we were saying, can they continue? Well, so far they've been struggling in set 2 and set 3. So they have to rediscover their form and how they won set 1.
Their offense was stymied and they were checked on several occasions. That single block by Ivy Laksina was super special for Akari. It was a motivational boost for the team. And now let's see how CAPITAL1 tries to respond to the challenge here.
Yeah, Coach Jorge opting to use a different starting unit here. Starting with Iris Tolenada and Cruz.
Hope you're enjoying wherever you're catching us tonight. Seb Samantha, Noreen Go, and Franny Reyes, your broadcast team for our presentation of this battle between Akari and CAPITAL1. Creamline won earlier today in 5, and there's the dump by Laksina.
Aside from that, there was a net violation on the Cruz. So again, Akari using their strengths. No, their service has been a weapon.
And that's such a tall front line if you think about it. And Laksina, Soyud, Sharma. It's like hitting against a very tall bamboo fence. Ang ganda nung save kanina ni Mars Alba rito. And she was trying to do a repeat of that.
And the way she looked at what is in front of her and how she avoided like the tables and cameras.
But nothing beats that reverse kick earlier today. It's classic.
What a way to start out our day.
Yeah, joyful, joyful. Soyud misses. And the linesman's still alive.
And Soyud, yeah, her offense hasn't been on point here. But that's fine if you can serve tough and get a couple of aces.
That's a miss. And now, Akari beginning to miss offensively.
Tagawad looking at Cruz. You know what Cruz said? Wala, promise.
Wala talaga.
Promise.
Wala talaga. Maniwala ka. Kung meron na, aminin ko. Pero wala talaga eh. 3-1 score. Ala, nakatulog sandali. They wake up in time. Akari falling apart here.
Yeah, Madrigal. She needs to get a bit more set. She needs to like create a difference. Now that she's there.
4-1 count. Tagaud is drawn out. Soltones, who was not ready to go in, scampered and jumped over several humps and bumps to be able to make it to the floor. 4-1. Adorador. Soyud drills it in.
Well, Coach Tina did mention or did tell her she has to be patient.
Spike of the set brought to you by Duncan, pasalubong ng bayan. Ito, mood nito. Anybody's game ito. 2-1 lead. Pero hindi nakakasiguro itong Akari. 4-2 ang count natin. Lamang ang Capital 1.
But Akari, you're up 2-1. You want to finish this in 4.
Right now, right here. Soyud. That did not go through.
Boy, what a start here for Capital 1.
Yeah. The meantime, lusot yung palo ni Soltones. Playable, Azareno. Alba. Notice that Akari doesn't do much of a quick attack. They're going open mostly.
Yeah.
And that'll work. It's been a while since Soltones has scored.
Well, welcome back to Akari, the Lady Beast. Yeah, but you know, how can you not let Tagaod play?
Oh, naman.
Because she was playing so well for Akari.
More than 10 points, diba? That serve on point. Oh, great pickup by Serena, just reading that well. Elevated by Villena. Tossed. Soyud. Soyud scores again.
Yeah. So see, you try to contribute. Maybe your front game not so much, but when you're in the back, you serve and then you do these back row attacks. I mean, that's how you make up.
Doramal with a bit of a problematic pickup there. Alba. Oh! Oh!
Boy, I mean,
Years in San Sebastian, returning here.
she has discovered the fountain of youth. So much energy
Yeah.
with that hit.
5-all. 3 straight points by Akari. Soya jams it. That's hit out. And Sultana scores again. It's 4 straight points by Akari.
That's just playing it smart.
And Capital One is forced to press the timeout buzzer.
Just waiting in the, all of them. So you're gonna wait, put your hand on antenna, and then you get this one, okay? That's the point. If they spike there, we see. So it's fine for us. Hey, we don't change the play, I change the player. If she's in pain, the setter is still there. Come here, you have the quick, and also have the, okay?
And that's on the plate.
Remaining games of Akari have Creamline, Galleries, and Farm Fresh, 12, 17, and 21 respectively here in the month of March.
Where there is now short supply of volleyball. In the meantime, that's hit out.
And great response from Capital One coming off that huddle.
They needed to stop that 4-0 run on 5-1 actually earlier. Somebody is scoring at will here.
She has rediscovered her form.
You know, those of you who may have not known a younger Gretchen Sultanas, when she was like Manny Pacquiao noong umpisa.
Manny Pacquiao.
Di ba? Puro power, di ba?
Yeah.
Bam, bam, bam. And Roger Gorayev just had to hone it.
Baby Bowley nga, you know. Remember Baby Bowley?
Yeah. In the meantime, comeback by Akari. They lead now at 8-6.
The PVL All-Filipino Conference between the Capital One Solar Spikers and the Akari Chargers. Now I want to talk more about the Capital One Solar Spikers. There was an energy shift after that last set. Everyone is a lot more locked in. Not as light, not too happy right now. They know that it's crunch time. And really, that was the story from Coach Jorge De Brito. He was saying that we are going to take this to a 5th set. Let's play 5. And I saw them sharing instructions rather on their block, making sure that they're able to keep the eagerness in this match because they know that this will not be an easy road to 5th set. Now, I also want to mention on the side of the Akari Chargers, San Domingo experiencing cramps, and that's why she's been subbed out and Jaja is filling in. But they're gonna need set as well if indeed we are going to an extended 5th set. 7 or 8.
Thank you very much, Ronnie Reyes. Alam mo, you may be feeling ill, but if you're a good team member, sige, kaya, punta ako. I'll be there. And she gave it her best try, actually. But you know she's under the weather. Block!
Oh, good cover.
Yes, but kept very much in play. Alba recycles it. Oh, they got that end line.
It's not a solid hit, but take it. But you feel for Bella Milan. That was great coverage.
Yeah. Belen already in the 20-point zone.
What?
So what else is new? Doroman. Adorador denied.
Mars Alba getting a huge stop there.
Gusto ko yung swag ni Mars Alba. Then she switches that off and smiles like crazy.
And also Fifi Sharma.
Yan. Yung kay Fifi may may elegance pa yan. Diba?
Kasama wala si Mars.
Si Mars naman, cut to cut. Grabe si Laksina nitong last 3 sets.
It's been a great last few games for Ivy Laksina and just continuing to pour.
And Mars Alba just knows who to give it to at this point. Villena, serve. That is bounce abound by Nuna.
Yeah, Genesis set that up, that overpass.
Akari has had several good runs. Just before that point, they were on the crest of a 5-2 run. Somebody bought coffee. I can smell it. It must be morning already. In the meantime, nowhere to go for Genesis.
Everything working for Akari here. Their net defense is working. And you're talking about a tall front row. Look at that for Akari. Soyun, Sharma, Laksina.
Genesis. Soyun. It's returned to sender. Cut. Alive, but out.
Well, that's a much-needed point for Capital One.
Iris Tolinado will serve. Short serve. Sharma blasts away. Denied. Recycled here. One-handed save by Gretel Sultanes.
Oh, good dig.
Orvina is there. Another long rally, the second longest. And it's hit out.
Boy, you would think that, you know, with all the attempts, get tired, but no. She's still going.
I love it when the players watch the replay in the big screen here. They're checking what happened, what went wrong. Ayos ba yung buhok ko? Or something. No, but they're looking at it. In the meantime, wasted serve. It is 10-13. That's not the time, but the score.
But we're close to that.
Yeah. Ooh, not complaining, just stating a fact.
Boy, again, Coach Tina, she brought in Sultanes at the right time.
Just when Tagaod was getting caught.
Yeah, yeah. That's just some excellent coaching.
In the meantime, Sharma all set to serve.
Good serve.
Oh, picked up. Oh, out.
Yeah. Tina Sala gave a smile because she was standing right beside the ball. Oh, they call a net violation on Elisoyun.
Makay challenge. Good time as any. Just a quick update on Nazareno. 15 digs and 13 receptions. I'm not surprised. Anong issue? Do they challenge?
Did the ball land first or the net violation?
Nagka-clarify si Tina more than anything else. server is being asked to wait. Grabe yung 5 points contribution ni Soltones coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Dictating the tempo here. She goes again. Blocked, however. Mars. Soyud. Iris. Hindi kurso natin ni Micaela. Soltones.
Oh, good save.
Tik nang ma-scorean yun. Soyud. Soyud. Soyud.
Boy, the offense of Akari relentless here in the fourth set. Look at that. Great combination play. No blockers. Mars Alba's doing an excellent
Yes,
job.
spreading it out evenly. Like,
For her to be able to create a no-block situation. I mean, that's good.
You'd like to have Mars Alba over for breakfast. She knows how to spread the butter on the pancake. In the meantime,
Yeah, Cruz, much needed. We keep saying much needed because Akari will score in bunches, then they'll score one.
boy, it's been a while since Negos was on the floor. Huh?
Yeah. That's good scouting for you. After her last game when she scored 20 points, I'm sure Akari studied her and stopped her a bit.
Yung coaches na Akari, parang tayo, no? Wala rin sawa sa volleyball, ano, ha? Which we love. Hello, hello. Alba doing the center on 2. 16-12 tally. We are going to the technical timeout. Don't forget, UAAP Season 88 Volleyball is in full swing. In fact, tomorrow there are games. Huh? Watch the games every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday on the Filipinas Live app. Also available on the UAAP Varsity channel and on One Sports because legends start here. 16-12. This is far from over. Akari, however, tried to wrap it up in 4. On the other hand, CAPITAL1 wanting to stretch it to the deciding 5th. Sultan is just playing well here. That's rejected, but it's blocked out.
Yeah, for CAPITAL1, they're hoping, like what happened to Akari, everyone they put in, you know, when they make substitution, delivers. That's what you want right now. Nabor and Negos in. They need to create some impact.
Azareno. Alba. That is blocked. And talk of impact.
Well, the lead is down to 2.
Look at Tina Salak nod to Mars Alba. They have a way of communicating. In the meantime, look at this. Service ace. Timeout.
Sige, basa lang muna. Balik lang, balik lang. Ayos na. Ayos na ulit. Ayos na ulit.
It's still anybody's set to take here. Coming up games, the last 2 for Capital One.
Yeah, they're going up against Signal, Super Spikers at March 14 and the 21st. It's Galleries High Risers. Whoa!
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that's a good timeout.
In a way, Belen ended up messing up the serve. 17-15, Villena will be serving. Genesis misses. Oh, but it's a check. Challenge now. It's officially a challenge. The lines judge called it a check. And Tina Salak did not agree. That's referee into what the ball was. Another interchange. There have not been that many challenges here.
Yeah, I mean, Fifi Sharma didn't realize that they called a check, and she was already like, okay.
Celebrating.
Yeah. So Coach Tina said, did anyone check? Did everyone touch it?
Abangan ang kabanatang ito. Because this is crucial, huh?
Yeah, it's just a one-point game. Good challenge by Coach Tina.
She consulted her players first. In the meantime, Coach De Brito, his charges have to respond here. Boy, Genesis has been overcooking it.
Well, because, you know, they realized that the blocking of Akari has been working, so a bit intimidated.
They're getting the sets, but the strikes are just too much because of that point you made about the blocking. Here's Villena. Belen. Soyun has a hand in it. They keep it alive. Can they get it over?
Yep.
They do. Playable. Reverse. Sharma.
Wow. Well, they changed the script writer. Somebody rewrote the script and that's been changed.
And now Sharma has earned the right to celebrate.
Yeah.
We have a timeout.
Spike. Drop one, they're doing the same. Okay? 5 points. 5 to them is 5 to us. Let's come back. It's the same. It's the same. Serve good. Transition. Consistent there, please.
Kapitan natin, pusuan natin. Let's go. Kapitan!
Watch this sequence.
Like, it was like super ad-lib. But whatever works, right?
Now, Coach Jorge De Brito in a difficult coaching scenario here. He's trying to motivate the troops, but the score is as it is right now, a 5-point deficit. Doromal receiving well. Here's Alba. High, and it's touched. Roma knew it. She touched it.
It looked like a miss hit and it was going out,
Yes. That's why Roma was so disappointed. And she was jumping up and down. Watch this.
That's why you always want to say to your players, stay grounded.
Stay down.
Stay down.
Diba? Naiinis tayo sa coaches natin. Sigaw na sigaw. Down, down, down. Adorador denied. That is going to work.
It's been a while, but they need it. They'll take it.
21-16.
Boy, let's mention Villena really serving tough for Akari.
The tap, the whisk. Belen lifts it high. Adorador. Soltones has stayed on the floor during this crucial stretch. Nunag. Nabor. Adorador. Azareno says, I got it. Soltones.
Wow! Soltones coming off the bench, like you said, right? She's a woman with a mission, on a mission.
Kalain mo, inabot ko yung araw na si Soltones ay magiging veterano. When I was starting to cover volleyball, she was a rookie.
Yeah. And she has remained the sweetest thing.
Yeah, yeah. Galing sumayaw yan. So, yun. Candado Sarado.
Akari pulling away here. Everybody contributing to this charge.
Either blocking, digging. Marsalba has friends over there in the corner.
She's been looking.
Yeah. One hand on it.
Well, you know, Capital1 can still come back. They just have to have important stops and make a run
More
here.
stops than often. It's really stops here.
Yeah, they can't afford to play side out.
No. What you were saying?
They can't afford to commit a service error.
And we are at match point.
This 6 for Coach Tina.
We're done. And we are done. Four-set win by Akari.
Well, the first set went the way of Capital1, but yeah, the second, third, and fourth was all Akari Chargers.
Some very deft substituting and players responding has created this win for Akari. May mga bunot eh. Tagawad was a special one. Soltones in the stretch. Ivy Laxina coming to life at the right moment. Fortuitous and just well-timed, everything.
Yeah.
Here's the final scoring line. Soyud also got going.
Sharma also. I mean, everybody contributed. Even Villena from the service area.
And Akari, that's a big, big win for them, and they will enjoy this moment.
Well, Capital1, they always have moments that they have flashes of brilliance. You know, that's what I'm saying. The challenge always is to play at a certain level because first set, you saw, they played so well, but they couldn't bring it to the second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, exactly. Our producer, Sinjan Ray, is having a difficult time trying to get our best player of the game, who's going to talk with Franny Reyes. And Justine, I think she deserves this award, you know, huh? Our best player of the game.
Yeah.
Justine Azareno is with Franny.
Thank you so much, Seb and Noreen. That's right, our court general is the player of the game for the Akari Chargers. Justine, congratulations. We almost went into a fifth set. What helped Akari avoid that?
I think we worked hard for this 4 sets and yun nga sinabi namin na hindi pwede na bumababa yung energy namin kasi yun, mas mahihirapan kami.
Pag-usapan naman natin ang contribution ng mga teammates off the bench, si Jaja, si Shenny, lahat ng players talaga nag-contribute for this match.
Super happy ako para sa kanila kasi lahat kami nagtutulong-tulong and binibigyan ng tiwala ni Coach Tina yung bawat players. Yun po.
At bilang captain ng team, now is your chance to talk to your teammates, the supporters of the Akari Chargers. Your supporters, go ahead.
Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng sumusuporta sa Akari Chargers, Circus, management po ng Akari, Akari supporters, sa family ko, Hazareno family, teammates ko, coaches, sa lahat ng tumutulong sa amin. And si Austin, bye! Thank you po!
7 na rin, dami pang energy ng Akari Chargers, but let's close this one out.
Yep, but hindi sila nagmamahalan. Ano? Parang ano endless energy. And this is the schedule na rin for Tuesday.
Yeah, PLDT will go up against Galleries Tower High Risers March 10, Tuesday.
And then on the same day, Choco goes up against Farm Fresh. Okay, that'll do it for us. 4-set win by Akari in behalf of Norinco and Franny Reyes and our entire One Sports Signal and Filipinos Live production team led by our director Marvin Chavez. Thank you for joining us. It's a big win by Akari in 4.